everyone. Hello. We are going to be having our lesson today. And today we will be learning algebraic and quadratic simplifications. That is what we are going to be learning about. Quadratic and algebraic simplifications. Quadratic and algebraic simplifications. Quadratic and algebraic simplifications. Quadratic and algebraic simplifications. Aha. Keep joining. Keep joining. Today we have started our class a little bit late, but we are going to catch up. We will catch up. So, talking of quadratic simplifications, what we are simply talking about is that we are going to be having some examples on quadratic, what we call algebraic expression, both linear and quadratic. And we are going to have some questions here. I want us to do some questions. So we will start with our question number 1. And our question number 1 says factorize completely. Factorize completely. And our question is 3x squared minus 2xy minus y squared. And that question is 2 marks. This question was assessed back in KCSE. It was assessed in KCSE. So what we are going to do in this scenario, we are going to factorize this. And for us to factorize this algebraic expression, we are going to use quadratic identities to simplify that. So let me add some ink in my pen so that we can start this work. So let's do this work. So for us to factorize this question, and kindly ensure that you are participating, you are giving down your comments if you are understanding. So we have 3x squared minus 2xy minus y squared. For us to factorize this, we are going to use quadratic factorization. Quadratic factorization. And how do we apply quadratic factorization? This is how we apply quadratic factorization. This is the way we apply quadratic factorization. So 3x squared minus 2xy minus y squared. For us to determine the quadratic factorization, we proceed to find the product sum using the product sum method. So our a in this scenario is 3, our b is -2, and our c is -1. Where did we get those values from? Remember, from quadratic identities, this one ax squared, so this one is a, bx, -2 is our b, and our c is -1. The negative coefficient, which is 1, so it will be -1. So we will now proceed to find the product. The product is always AC. So when we talk of the product being AC, it means it is 3 times -1 should be -3. Then our sum should be equal to b. And our b is equal to -2. Our b is -2. So we should now proceed to find factors. And these two factors, if we multiply the two numbers, they should give us -3. And if we add the two numbers, they should give us -2. So the two numbers that we can multiply to give us -3 are only 3 and 1. If you multiply 3 times 1, you will get 3. But for us to get -3, one number must be negative. And that definitely will be 3. So -3 times 1 is equal to -3. And -3 plus 1 is equal to -2. You can try and confirm that. -3 times 1 is -3. And -3 plus 1 is -2. So once we get that, we will now proceed. We will take these factors and replace our b and put it here. So we will have 3x squared. So we will now replace -2 and have -3, but xy will remain. So it will be -3xy plus 1xy is the same as plus xy. There is no need of putting 1, because if we put even if you put a 1, it will not change the meaning, because 1 will not affect anything. So we replace our -2 to replace na -3 and 1, but xy remains in both cases, then minus y squared. Once we have that, from this level, we now factorize by grouping. We factorize by grouping. We will factorize these two, and we will factorize those two. And when we factorize by grouping, what are we going to do? We will take the greatest common divisor that can divide both 3x squared and 3xy. And it happens that the greatest common divisor in this case is 3x. So it is going to be 3x. Then into bracket we will have x. So 3x times x is 3x squared. And for us to multiply 3x to get 3xy, we will multiply it with y. Then the greatest common divisor between xy and y squared is y. So it will be plus y. Then if we open this bracket here, we will get into bracket, we have x there. Then it will be minus y. Why minus y? Y minus y? Because y times minus y will be minus y squared. And since we have two brackets which are identical with each other, we just pick one. So we can leave one or we can just cancel it. But let us just leave it. We only take one. That is the identical brackets. You just pick one. So once you do that, we can now write the other one outside the bracket. 3x plus y. 3x plus y. And we are done factorizing that kind of a question. We are done factorizing such questions. So with that, we can do another example. We can do another example. If you have a question, kindly ensure you participate by commenting so that I'm not teaching blindly. So have you understood the first question so that we can proceed to the second question? kindly, I want you to react. I want to see your reactions so that I will know we are flowing together. Remember, when teaching using YouTube is a little bit challenging when it comes to following up on whether the student is understanding or not. Unless we maintain that communication, we will have a robust learning experience, because we are able to understand whatever we are being taught. So let us proceed to example 2. Example 2, simplify simplify the expression 3a squared plus 4ab plus b squared over 4a squared plus 3ab minus b squared. 3 marks. 3 marks. So we are going to do that question. Yes, teacher, I understand. That's good. I want you to continue reacting like that so that we flow together. So I want us to respond to this question. So just as we have done the first question, we are going to do this one. But this one is in two parts. We have the numerator and the denominator. So we will decide to start with the numerator. So our numerator is 3a squared plus 4ab plus b squared. 3a squared plus 4ab plus b squared. We said we are using factorization, quadratic factorization, to solve this, to simplify. So we have our a as 3, our b is 4, and our c is 1. So our product is AC, and when we have our product is AC, it is 3 times 1, it's going to be 3. Then we have our sum is B, and our B is 4, so our B is 4. Then we will proceed to find the factors. I want you to give me two numbers, and those two numbers, if we multiply them, they will give us 3. If we add them, they will give us 4. So our two numbers will be 3 and 1. So 3 multiplied by 1 is equal to 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So these are the factors that we are going to use. So we will now proceed 3a squared. So we will now replace plus 4 and have plus 3ab plus 1ab is the same as plus ab, then plus b squared. That is what we are going to have. So once we are here, we can now factorize by grouping. When we talk of factorizing by grouping, we are factorizing two by two numbers, this and this. So the common factor between 3a squared and 3ab is 3a. You can see 3a is the common value here. So we have 3a into bracket, we have a plus 3a times b will be 3ab. So this one will be b. Then the other bracket, the greatest common factor between ab and b squared is b. And with a b, we have a plus, then we have a b there. So our numerator will be 3. We now choose 1. A plus b, a plus b. We just take 1. So our numerator will be a plus b into brackets. Then we take the one that is outside the bracket, which is 3a plus b. 3a plus b. Just by doing that, you get 1 mark. When you do that, you get 1 mark. We now proceed to the denominator. So our denominator is 4a squared plus 3ab minus b squared. Minus b squared. So That is our B. So we have our product. Remember our product is AC. So our product is AC, so it will be 4 times -1, it will be -4. There is no need of listing down A, B, and C. You know our A is 4, our B is 3, and our C is -1. So our 4 multiplied by -1 will be -4. Our sum will be our B. Our B is 3. So I want you to give me two factors. And in these two factors, if we multiply them, they will give us -4. And if we add them, they will give us 3. So kindly give me those factorials. Give me those factors. Nipe hizo factors. Nipe hizo factors. Tutatumia gani? What will be the factors? What will be the factors? Factors zetu zitakuwa gani? And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, ensure you subscribe to Top Grade Academy so that you know more and more tutorials. Many more are coming. We are still working towards optimizing this channel so that it can not just handle mathematics but also handle other subjects. So, have you gotten them? Bado. The factors ni gani? Let's proceed then. It will be -1 and 4. -1 and 4. If you take -1 times 4, it will be -4. -1 plus 4 will give you 3. -2, 2. That cannot work. Because -2, 2. If you take -2 plus 2, it will be 0. It cannot give you a sum of 3. So after we get that, we can now take 4 squared. We now replace 3 plus 3, we now take minus 1ab. It can be minus ab, then plus 4ab minus b squared. And once we have that, we can now factorize by grouping. So the common factor between 4a squared and ab, it is a. So once we have a here, in the brackets we have 4a minus, this one will be b. In the second one, the common factor between 4ab and b squared is b. So we will have 4a minus b in our bracket. And by having that, this will now give us, we now take one bracket, 4a minus b, and we now have the outside, whatever is outside the bracket, which is a plus b. And once we have that, we have our second mark of the denominator. So we now simplify. Remember to simplify, it is the numerator over the denominator. So the numerator was a plus b and 3a plus b over the denominator is, we've just gotten our denominator as 4a minus b, a plus b, a plus b. And once we have that, we can now simplify. This one will cancel with this one because both of them are ab, a plus b. and there is a denominator, a sign for over. So we can just cancel them and simplify to make them 1. And once we do that, our final answer for that question is going to be 3a plus b over 4a minus b. That is going to be our final answer. That will be our final answer. So for those two questions, have we understood? Have we understood for those two questions? Tumeelewa hayo maswali mawili? Have we understood? Have we understood? Haya. Let us have another example. Number 3. Simplify the expression 3x squared minus 4xy plus y squared over 9x squared minus y squared. 3 marks. So we have that question. In the same scenario, we are going to start with the numerator, which is 3x squared minus 4xy plus y squared. So in this scenario, we have our a as 3, our b as negative 4, and our c as 1. So our product will be equal to 3 times 1 is 3, and our sum is negative 4. So our factors, we are in need of two numbers, in which these two numbers, if you multiply them, they will give you 3, and if you add them, they will give you negative 4. So which are those numbers? If we multiply them, they will give you 3. If you add them, they will give you negative 4. Definitely our numbers will be negative 3 and negative 1. Sorry, if you take negative 3 multiplied by negative 1, it is going to give you positive 3. If you take negative 3 plus negative 1, it will give you negative 4. And once we do that now, we can now proceed. So we have 3x squared. We will now replace minus 4 and half, minus 3xy. We replace minus 4 again and half, minus 1xy is the same as minus xy, then plus y squared. So once we have this, we will now factor grouping mbili mbili. We factorize that, and we are going to factorize that. And once we do that, we are going to get the greatest common divisor between 3x squared and 3xy is 3x. So tutatoa 3x nje, tubaki na x minus, so 3x times x is 3x squared. If 3x ndo iko nje, hapa ni nini itakuwa ndani? Ni y. Then tukuje hapa minus, hapa y ndiyo common, so tutatoa y nje, ndani tubaki na nini? Na x. Then y itamultiply na nini iwe y squared, itakuwa minus y. Why minus not plus? Because minus y times minus y will be plus y squared. A negative number or a negative variable times a negative variable will give us a positive variable. Therefore, we will now choose one, x minus y, and have our numerator as x minus y, 3x minus y. And by doing that, we've gotten 1 mark. I'm showing you even how marks are awarded. So once you solve the numerator, you get your first mark. Let us now get to the denominator. Our denominator is 9x squared minus y squared. So this one is a little bit different because you can see we only have two variables. And these two variables, we cannot use factorization here as per se the quadratic factorization to solve this. If you check this one clearly, you can see 9 is a perfect square. X squared by itself is a perfect square. And even y squared by itself is a perfect square. Then, whatever is happening between the two variables is we are subtracting them. So, in short, this we call it the difference of two squares. It's a difference of two squares. We are subtracting two perfect squares. 9x squared is a perfect square. Y squared is also a perfect square. So what we are going to do in this case, we will apply the formula of simplifying or factorizing difference of two squares. And that method is, the formula is a squared minus b squared. Once we have a difference of two squares like this, it is equal to, we find the square root of a squared. The square root of a squared is a. Then the square root of b squared is b. It will be a minus b. Then we now repeat the same in the second bracket, but it will be the conjugate. Conjugate is the opposite. It will be the conjugate. So it will be a plus b. So if this one is a minus b, the other one will be a plus b. And by doing that, we have done. I want you to note this. We have determined the square root of these perfect squares. We've written it as we factorize. Then the next bracket that completes the expression is the conjugate of the first one. Conjugate means the opposite. For example, if this sign is negative, the conjugate of a negative sign is positive. So that is why we changed the sign there. So once we have that, if we now have the question 9x squared minus y squared, and you have been told to simplify this or to factorize this. So you will now find the square root of 9. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of x squared is x. Then the square root, we have minus. Then the square root of y squared is y. After you get this, then the remaining one will be the conjugate, 3x plus y. And if we want to confirm whether it's true, we can try to expand 3x minus y, 3x plus y, to see whether it is going to give us 9x squared minus y squared. So let us try to factorize it. We have 3x minus y and 3x plus y. So how do we go about expanding? We hold the first variable, 3x. We open the second bracket, 3x plus y. Then we hold the second variable, which is minus y. Then we open the second bracket still, which is 3x plus y. Once we do that, we will get 3x times 3x. So 3 times 3 is 9. It will be equal to 9x squared. Then 3x times y, it will be plus 3xy. Then minus y times 3x will give us minus 3xy. Then minus y times y will be equal to minus y squared. If we put the right terms together, we will get 9x squared, 3xy minus 3xy. That will cancel each other because it will become a 0. 3xy minus 3xy is 0. So we have 9x squared minus y squared. This is the same we have here. So in simple terms, if you are simplifying a difference of two squares, use this formula and don't doubt your results. Because if you expand your results through quadratic expansion, you will still get 9x squared minus y squared. So I've gone this way to prove to you that 3x minus y, 3x plus y is the same as 9x squared minus y squared. So let us now continue. So our denominator is 3x minus y, 3x plus y. So you get your second mark. You get your second mark. So for us to find our final mark, it is numerator over denominator. And our numerator is x minus y, 3x minus y over, the denominator is 3x minus y, then we have 3x plus y. Once we have that, you can simplify and cancel out those terms that are identical from between the numerator and the denominator. So this one is 3x minus y1 by 3x minus y1. And our final answer will be x minus y over 3x plus y. X minus y over 3x plus y. And that will now give you the accuracy marks. And in total, you are going to have 3 marks. In total, you will be having 3 marks. Let's proceed. Let's do more and more examples so that in the last 30 minutes, I'm going to be giving you questions in which I expect you to give me the feedback. Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question? So, we have another question here. Simplify the expression. I think this is number 4. Simplify the expression. 4x, this question was assessed in the year 2011. Four x minus 9x cubic over 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. You have that. I want us to do that question. Are you understanding? Tunaelewa? So, in this scenario, let's start with the numerator. So, our numerator is 4x minus 9x cubic. That is our numerator. 4x minus 9x cubic. So, the first thing we can do in our numerator, let us factorize our numerator. Let us factorize our numerator. And once we factorize our numerator, what are we going to get if we factorize our numerator? Our common factor between 4x and 9x cubic, definitely it cannot be 4, it cannot be 9, but it can be x, because we have x here and we have x cubic here. So in this case, we are going to take x outside our bracket. Then in our bracket inside, we are going to have 4 minus 9 will remain there, but this one will be x squared. Na tunasema ukitaka kujua ama ni ukweli, try opening this bracket. X times 4 will give you 4x minus x times 9x squared, it will give you 9x cubic. So this is the same as what we have here. It is the same thing as what we have there. So we have now factorized this. Then check out clearly. We now need to factorize this one completely. X, if you check this well, this one is a difference of 2 squares. If you can see clearly, this one is a difference of 2 squares. Why are we calling it a difference of 2 squares? because 4 is a perfect square. 4 is a perfect square. So if 4 is a perfect square, we will have 8. Then our bracket will be the square root of 4 is 2. Then minus the square root of 9 is 3. Then the square root of 8 squared is 8. So if this is 2 minus 3 8, our conjugate will be 2 plus 3 8. At least now, factorize it completely and you will get your 1 mark. You will get your 1 mark. That is our first mark. So after reaching there, we will now proceed to the denominator. The denominator is 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. So we are now going to factorize this. So as we said, our A is 3, our B is negative 4, and our C is negative 4. So our product, 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Our sum will be equal to B, which is negative 4, and our factors will be equal to two numbers that if we multiply them, they will give us negative 12. If we add them, they will give us negative 4. So those two numbers are negative 6 and 2. If you take negative 6 and multiply it with 2, you are going to get negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. If you take negative 6 plus 2, you will get negative 4. You will get negative 4. So if we work this one out, we are going to get 3x squared. Then we will replace minus 4 and take minus 6x. Then we replace again minus 4 and take plus 2x. Then minus 4. And from here now we can factorize by grouping. And when we factorize by grouping, the greatest common factor between 3 and 6 is 3. Then we have x and x. So it will be 3x. Open the bracket. We will have into bracket x minus 2. Then in this case, between 2x and 4, the factor is 2. So we have 2 into bracket x minus 2. So we are going to have x minus 2. We choose one bracket. Then 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2. So that is our denominator, which will give us 1 mark. So we can now take the numerator, divide by the denominator. So our numerator is x into bracket 2 minus 3x into bracket 2 plus 3x over the denominator is x minus 2 and 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2. So this one will cancel with this one. 2 plus 3x is the same as 3x plus 2. There is no difference. It has just been rewritten. They have just interchanged the values. It is just like saying 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2, of which both of them, 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2, is going to give us 5. So the same case applies here. So this one will cancel with that one by 1. And our final answer will be x into bracket 2 minus 3x over x minus 2. That is going to be our final answer. So by doing that, you get your accuracy mark, which amounts to 3. And nimefuta baka heading ili tuwe na space. I want you to do these questions. I've done a lot for you. You can now afford to do these ones. Simplify. expression of x squared plus ax over the second one do those questions quickly do those questions. Do those questions. Hello? Are we done? Okay. Listen carefully. This one is 9. This one is 9. But this one is A. This one is A, this one is A, this one is A, but this is 9. Do you suggest we do them together? I think we can do them together so that you can unaweza fanya kwa pamoja ili usahihishe, kwa sababu I'm recording using my phone. So let us quickly number 1. Simplify expression. So number 1, question number 1, we will quickly start with the numerator. 12x squared plus ax minus 6a squared. So we said in this question, our product is AC, and our AC is 12 times negative 6 will be negative 72. Then our sum is B, so our sum will be 1 plus 1, it will be 1. Then our factors will be two numbers, in which if we multiply the two numbers, they should give us negative 72. If we add them, they give us 1. So the two numbers will be equal to 8 and 9. Negative 8 times 9 is negative 72. Negative 8 plus 9 will give you 1. So when we have these as our factors, we will now proceed. 12x squared, we will now replace plus 1 with minus 8, but ax will remain. Then we will replace plus 1 with plus 9, and ax will remain. Then minus 6a squared. Minus 6a squared. Once we do this, we are going to have, we will now factorize by grouping. The common divisor between 12 and 8 is 4. So it will be 4x in this case. So once we have 4x in the bracket, we will remain with 3x. Because 4x times 3x is equal to 12x squared. Then minus, this one will be 2a. 2a because of 4 times 2 is 8. Then x times a is ax. Then plus, between 9 and 6, the common divisor should be 3a into bracket. For us to get 9, we need to have a 3 there. Then we need to have an x there. Then minus. For us to have 6a squared with 3a, we need 2, so that this will be 6. Then we need another a. So our numerator will be 3x minus 2a, 3x minus 2a. So we choose 1. We have 3x minus 2a. Then we have 4x plus 3a. That will be our numerator. Our numerator will give us our first mark. We now proceed to our denominator. So our denominator is equivalent to 9x squared minus 4a squared. So in this scenario, we said for difference of two squares, it is a squared minus b squared should be equal to a minus b, a plus b. So once we have that, this one is going to be, the square root of 9 is 3. So in short, we can write it here and say 9x squared minus 4a squared should give us, the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of x squared is 8, then minus square root of 4 is 2, square root of a squared is a, then we repeat the conjugate 3x plus 2a. 3x plus 2a, that is going to give us our second mark. Then we take the numerator over the denominator. So 3x minus 2a, 4x plus 3a, then 3x minus 2a, and 3x plus 2a. Once we have that, we can simplify the right terms, one by one and this one by one, and we are left with 4x plus 3a over 3x plus 2a. And by doing that, we are done. Then we get our 3 marks. We get our 3 marks. After doing that, let us proceed to question 2. Question 2. You simplify 16m squared minus 9n squared over the denominator 4m squared minus mn minus 3n squared. Still we have 3 marks. So the same scenario applies in this case. We will start with the numerator 16m squared minus 9n squared. We said for difference of two squares, a squared minus b squared is equal to a minus b, a plus b. And once we have that, this one is 16m squared minus 9n squared. It should be equal to, the square root of 16 is 4, the square root of m squared is m, minus the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of n squared is n. Then we repeat the conjugate 4m plus 3n. So once we have that, our numerator will be equal to 4m minus 3n, 4m plus 3n, and that will give us our first mark for the numerator. Let us now proceed to the denominator. Denominator, we have 4m squared minus mn minus 3n squared. So once we have this, we are going to find the product, and the product in this case will be equal to 4 times negative 3. It will be equal to negative 12. Then we'll have the sum. The sum will be negative 1. And then we'll have the factors. Our factors will be two numbers, in which if we multiply is negative 12, if we add is negative 1, and that will be negative 4 and 3. So if you take negative 4 times 3, it will give you negative 12. Negative 4 plus 3 will give you negative 1. So if we can just, so we will now have 4m squared. We will now replace minus 1 and put minus 4mn, then plus 3mn, then minus 3n squared, minus 3n squared. So we now factorize 2 by 2. If you check here, the common factor is 4m, and in brackets we have m minus n. Then the common factor here is 3n, and in the bracket we have still m minus n. So for our denominator, we will have m minus n followed by 4m plus 3n. 4m plus 3n, that will give us our second mark. Let us now find our final answer, which should be numerator over denominator. So we have 4m minus 3n, 4m plus 3n over m minus n, and 4m plus 3n. So we can cancel the identities. This identity goes with that identity, and we are left with 4m minus 3n over m minus n. By doing that, you get your three good marks. Get your 3 good marks. Number 3, 2x squared minus 8y minus 6y squared over x squared minus 4xy plus 4y squared. This question was assessed back in the year 2020, paper 1, number 5. So I hope you are marking. So we have the numerator, which is 2x squared minus 8y minus 6y squared. So our product is 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Then we have our sum, which is negative 1. So our factors will be 2 numbers. So it will still be negative 4 and 3. If I'm not wrong, it will be negative 4 and 3. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. And from there we will have 2x squared. We can now replace this and have minus 4xy plus 3xy minus 6y squared. So once we have that, we can now factorize by grouping. Our common factor here is 2x. Y 2 and 4, 2. X and xy is x. Then we have x minus, this one will be 2y, because 2x times 2y is 4xy. Then plus, the common factor here is 3, and we have y and y, so it will be 3y. Open the bracket, this one will give us x minus 2y. Because 3y times x is 3xy, and 3 times 2 is 6, y times y is y squared. So this one will give our numerator as x minus 2y. We said when the bracket is identical, we just choose one. Then we have 2x plus 3y. By doing that, you get your first mark. We now proceed to the denominator. Our denominator is x squared minus 4xy plus 4y squared. Watu hata mshaenda. Tumalize hili ya mwisho. Product is 4. Sum is negative 4. Factors. Namba 2, so itakuwa negative 2 and negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 itatupatia 4. Negative 2 plus negative 2 itatupatia negative 4. So with that in mind, we will have x squared minus 2xy minus 2xy plus 4y squared. So this one will be x into bracket x minus 2y. Then this one will be minus 2y into bracket x minus 2y. So in this case we will have x minus 2y, x minus 2y. That is our denominator. So with that we can now divide x minus 2y, 2x plus 3y, x minus 2y, x minus 2y. So that will cancel with that, and we will be left with 2x plus 3y over x minus 2y. So we've come to the end of our session today. You can get your KCSE made familiars and also past papers. I'm going to send you some past papers so that you can go through such questions. They are very as they are commonly assessed in KCSE. And remember that we said as much as we are paying a lot of emphasis in section 2, which is 50 marks, it is also very important to know that section 1 is very important because it also carries 50 marks. Secondly, section 2 is just a cumulative of section 1. Those short structured questions that are assessed in section 1 are the same questions which are lapped up together and assessed in section 2. So we cannot maybe look down on any section. We cannot take any section for granted. It is very important. So these are some of the questions that can give you some good marks. You cannot miss your 3 or 4 marks if you just be aware of these calculations, and I believe that you are going to become the very best. So we've come to the end of our session, and the teacher who has been guiding you goes by the name Teacher Asaf, and we've done what we had planned we are going to do today. And I believe tomorrow we are also going to spend time to do some short structured questions. Tomorrow I want us to check out on these areas, short structured areas on reciprocals, square and square roots, reciprocals, squares and square roots. That is what we are going to be doing tomorrow. Reciprocals, squares and square roots. Squares and square roots. Reciprocals, squares and square roots. After we are done with that, we can proceed to logarithms. It's always very motivating as a student when you come across question 1, you know question 1. But if you just peruse the paper, question 1, you are blank. Question 2, you are blank. Question 3, you are blank. You tend to lose motivation. Your motivation goes off. You are turned off. So instead of having such scenarios during the exams time, I would prefer we first go through those sessions. After we are done with the course and squares and square roots, we are just going to stream them here tomorrow, and also on logarithm. Once we are done with that, I want us to focus on transformation now, reflection, notation, and enlargement. We are close to finishing the paper 1, and I believe things are going to work out well for us. Have a blessed evening. I still remain your one and only Teacher Asaf, who turns confusion into confidence and helps you improve in your weak areas, that is in mathematics, chemistry, and biology. Top Grade Academy is the place to be in, where we will continue breaking down, demystifying, and simplifying things so that you can be able to understand these concepts in a more easier way. So a lot more is coming. You may also come across new faces in this channel. Let us interact as a team so that we can learn. Thank you very much and have a blessed night. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, ensure you click that subscribe button. Just click the subscribe button. Don't be selfish. That is just something good, and also saying thank you to me for the good work that we have been doing here. So just click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that each and every time I upload a new video, you always be updated. Click that button. Click that button, like this video, and share this video with another student so that we can all benefit. Thank you so much.